everybody, this is Becky Liggero here with Richard Boase. We are at AI Forge, and you just delivered a lovely masterclass on the intersection of AI and blockchain. It's awesome to see you finally. We are together here in the spotlight.
Thank you, Becky.
How did the founders here at AI Forge get you involved with the project today? Tell me your expertise in the area.
Okay. Well, Craig Massey very generously invited me to come and be a part of the demo day today, or the sort of introduction. I think this is day 2 for the teams to talk about the intersection of blockchain and AI, and how the two foundational technologies kind of reinforce each other and how they can offer value both to investors and the market. And so he asked me to come in. I gave the talk. I met the teams. It's very exciting to see all of this. Yeah. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, and I love, as I said to you before, I love your passion when it comes to this area, especially when it comes to BSV blockchain in particular. Clearly, you really believe in the tech, and you were really just educating everyone on that very well today. There were a few areas that I thought were super interesting that you brought up a few times. One was the world of NFTs. You were saying that all data, everything, it can all be NFTs. Yeah. Can you elaborate on this point for us, please?
Sure. It's kind of my new catchphrase is everything's an NFT. The map is an NFT, the cars on the map are the NFT, the people are NFTs, somewhat controversially, but more importantly, all of your work products could potentially be NFT. The output of AI can be NFTs. And the advantage of this is in a sort of Bitcoin-centric web, or an internet built on Bitcoin. Everything that you produce, it can be tokenized and owned and transferred and traded, so that would be an NFT, and then that just extends so far on to executable files and tokens and stuff like that. So really the possibilities are endless, and that becomes super exciting.
It really does. And also we talked quite a bit about privacy, data privacy. Tell me how this ties into the world of AI and blockchain together. How can blockchain be used for making that data nice and secure?
Okay. So I guess the most important thing is this idea that identity is firewalled from the blockchain.
Yeah.
In traditional card payment networks and stuff like that, obviously all the transactions carry transaction data that includes your name, but in Bitcoin, the payment itself excludes the data about you. Now you can choose to give a merchant your data, and a merchant can ask for your data, but you can do that privately, and that can be just between you and the merchant. It doesn't have to be shared with a bank or anything like that. So in the digital cash world, despite the fact that it's on a public network, your transactions are more private, or can be more private, than they are in the legacy banking system. So despite people's fears about CBDCs and surveillance, capitalism, stuff like that, we've actually got quite a nice privacy mechanism that firewalls people and allows them to have more privacy in the market.
Yeah, and this is great for AI because, of course, we need so much data in order for machine learning, right? And this keeps it private if we need everything to be private.
Yes, if your payments are private, fundamentally, exactly. If your identity is private, then of course interacting with products and services gives you an added degree of privacy. Yeah.
Privacy, as you say. I say. Anyway, I know another point that you made I loved was about micropayments, which of course this is only going to be possible with BSV blockchain or something where the fees are quite low and is quite scalable. But tell me about how we could potentially be paying for the use of data, how micropayments can be used in this whole ecosystem that we were talking about today.
It's a good question. I mean, the reality of AI, of course, is that it does a lot of computations. You don't want all those computations to be paying for all that computation because it will cost you millions and billions of dollars per second. It's not a good idea. But the idea that you could put hashed and attested data sets as input into AI is quite interesting, especially from the point of view of distributed computation, taking large data sets from different companies around the world and using those inputs to give you some kind of AI output, and then of course you want to potentially hash the output so that you've got a record of what you put in and what you got out. So all of that's just sort of like security architecture, and likely is the default if it's passing over a Bitcoin-powered internet. Yeah.
Very cool. Anything else you wanted to add about the exciting world of AI and blockchain?
I mean, look, I'm personally, excited about it. I'm still working on products and services that are Bitcoin related and particularly NFT related. I'm interested in particularly the idea of generative playing cards, the top trumps cards and stuff like that the AI produces, and that you as a consumer can generate and buy on the spot for a very, very small amount, and then go out and trade as commodities with your friends or whatever and play these cards against each other. So that's just a product I'm still working on. We still did the back end to Ninja Punk Girls. We're doing that right now. So we're still moving forward, slowly. And AI is part of our platform now as well. We've worked that into the back end. So yeah, no, it's looking bright.
Well, slow and steady wins the game, Richard. Thank you so much. Really nice to see you here.
Thank you, Becky. Nice to see you too.
Here with Nav of CommuneFlow, we are at the AI Forge Masterclass, where Nav presented today on the intersection of AI and blockchain tech. Really good job, super interesting.
Thank you.
And Nav, I wanted for you to start off by telling us what CommuneFlow is all about. What is the technology powering your company?
So CommuneFlow is a community CRM, right? So what we are building is the HubSpot for communities. And the thesis is community-led marketing is the next wave of marketing. And today, a lot of organizations are trying to sort of build active communities around their products. And it is very fragmented. So people sit across multiple channels, like they can exist on Discord, Twitter, Telegram, WhatsApp, all these different channels. And what we're doing is building the tooling to bring all these people together in one place and try to manage them, understand their behaviors, but also incentivize certain behaviors that leads to better engagement and growth and brand loyalty.
Excellent. Okay, and tell me how you were brought in today as one of the experts on AI and blockchain. What is your background in these two fields?
Great. So multiple things that I'm doing. So one is I'm part of a larger DAO called Banana Season, which is about using Web3 and communities to drive power to a lot of these Web3 projects. I'm also a mentor at Outlier Ventures, which is the world's biggest Web3 accelerator. So I started my career with Oracle, which is a data company. And as part of that, I did a lot of predictive work. So AI in its early stages. And then finally ended up in the blockchain space. So it's a lot of things that came together.
Well, all of these technologies are all intertwined, which I think some people don't realize. They keep them in separate buckets. Yeah.
As we saw today, right? Yeah. So they're all underpinned by data. And here you go.
Amazing. Yeah, underpinned by data. I love that. And you talked about economies of scale at the very beginning of the presentation and kind of explained how AI and blockchain are involved with this and the importance of scaling. Can you just elaborate on that point for us?
Now, what's happening is with AI and blockchain, we are creating an industrial revolution moment for knowledge work. Right? So we are able to bring together people who actually engage in creating content, creating knowledge to work with each other. And we also want to incentivize that in such a way that we are able to coordinate all these people to create content and knowledge at a scale that has not been possible today, right? So which is actually what you saw, that curve, right? It's a proper hockey stick curve where you are able to coordinate behaviors to create value and exchange value.
Wow, it's really exciting times, that is definitely for sure. And I just wanted you to kind of break down a couple of examples for our audience here as to the ways that AI and blockchain actually work together. And I know you said AI actually, what influence does it have on blockchain, or how can it help blockchain? Yeah. That was one of the points you made. I thought that was a really interesting way to look at it. You said it simplifies things. Can you talk about that, the user experience?
It does. I think there are multiple ways AI can be used to simplify blockchain, right? So today, again, smart contract development. So how people actually go about developing smart contracts on a case-by-case basis. Yeah. And there is a room for a lot of error, for a lot of mismanagement of these contracts, right? So if you don't really write smart contracts in the right way, they lead to a lot of issues in terms of higher gas fees or vulnerabilities in terms of the end assets being used for nefarious purposes and all that. So by using AI, you could automate the creation of those smart contracts and the optimization of those contracts as well. So that's one thing. Second is, again, if you think about all these different chains, rollups are a big thing. So ZK, zero-knowledge rollups, they can be optimized, and the processing of those rollups could actually be, again, optimized using AI. So there are multiple sort of use cases that are starting to come out through this, right? But again, in reverse, blockchain can improve AI in multitude of ways, as we saw in terms of use cases. So decentralized identities, where what people can do is they can own their own data, and again, sometimes people want to use want to share their data so that they benefit from, say, recommendations that are being made to them. Right? Today, in centralized platforms like Amazon, your data is anyways used to make recommendations to you, and that data is also used for advertising and targeting you and making you buy things that you don't want. But in this case, what you're doing is you have a handle of your data. Depending on the service, you could actually share your data for AI to then process your data in a privacy-preserving way, to then make recommendations that are something that you want to consume. So you are in control of what is being recommended to you. That's how you could actually combine blockchain and DID with AI.
Oh, I love that. Control of your own data. Imagine that, owning our data. What about in finance, in the finance world, AI and blockchain? What ways can we use this technology together? I think you provided a few examples on that.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about a world where you're going to be using digital money, you're going to be using peer-to-peer money, or decentralized finance in a larger sense, right? Depending on the use case. So if you're talking about peer-to-peer lending networks, can you use AI to be that agent which can score people who are actually borrowing money, to make sure that in that particular setup where you don't have a centralized authority underwriting a particular loan or the risk of a certain loan, can AI be the force that is actually making the right scoring, making the right predictions to make sure that the risk is properly understood? And so, people who are borrowing money are charged the right kind of interest rates based on the risk they pose to the system. So that is a particular use case. Second is, again, if you're talking about decentralized insurance, where you have communities of people coming together to actually participate in an insurance scheme, then can AI again provide the right underwriting to make sure the premium for you is calculated depending on the risk you pose to that particular insurance community. So I think there is a lot that AI can do in there, which a centralized organization would otherwise do, right? So the underwriting of it can be done through AI.
So exciting, so interesting. I feel like I could sit here and talk to you for like another 5 hours, but maybe the next time. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed your presentation today, and I hope to see a lot more of you, Nav. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Thanks a lot for this.
Thank you guys so much for watching. It's Becky Liggero for CoinGeek.com.
Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin wallet, blockchain, stablecoins, MetaNet, the evolution of money. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin today, but what exactly is it? Learn the basics from experts. Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Blockchain 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.